Hi. Hello and welcome. It's me, Brian Smith, live in the Forbidden Library. Welcome to this world where there's a castle in it, because that's Arthurian, right? That's what makes it. 3D Bridie is 3D, and in a world where she can move about. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Size Phantom. Welcome Benjamin. Welcome Noko-chan. Welcome. Nimby! Sorry, I nearly forgot you there, Nimby. Nimby! Welcome to you too. Welcome any lurkers. Welcome any foreigners. Today, it's Sunday. And today, on Sundays, we read. But first, we have a spreadsheet to do. As you know, last time, you saw 28 Years Later? I ain't seen it yet. The Bone Temple yesterday. If I had a nickel for every time I saw Jack O'Connell in a horror movie with an amazing musical sequence, I'd have 2 nickels. Huh. Because I'm guessing the other one's Sinners? That was Jack O'Connell as well, wasn't it? How uncivilized. Reading while walking around. I know. I'm gonna play with the format a little today. Because I feel like I could take more advantage of VR chat by having a little wander while we read, and we can have some nice scenery and touch some grass. So we'll be testing that out today, and see how we go. Yes, it is the last one. Yeah. I might have to watch the 28 Years Later one just to see him dance around again, in a very terrifying way. Yeah, I thought we could, like I said, take advantage more of stuff. But first, we read a lot of SCP last week, so we need to add all of them to the spreadsheet. So, 314 was SCP 4. That's 5. 4, 5, 8, 5. I believe I put all SCPs in short stories. SCP. It's a big old series, and we're in 2026. This time you get to see Ralph Fiennes dance with him. Cool. 315. It was SCP-053, which was also a short story, which was also SCP, which is also a series, which is also 2026. 316 SCP. I should probably just put caps lock on. 2662 short story SCP series 2026. 317 SCP 2295 short story SCP series 2026. 318 SCP 1762 short story SCP series 2026. I think some of the SCPs actually technically count as flash fiction rather than... I feel like I might have counted things wrong, because there should really only be like one difference between this number and this number. Like that. But for some reason it's now... I've done something wrong here, I'm sure. I need to auto-number this bad boy. It's fine. We're going to count it as right for now. 390 SCP 990. I thought SCP 99. Oh, I've read 999, not 990. Sorry. Because it, like, tried to auto insert, I thought that meant that I'd already read it, because there was some that we did I thought I already read. 320. Miscounting your books, it is 100% a skill issue. Myself and numbers are, we have a questionable relationship. 550. Is that another 0? Is that an 8? Pass me! I'm gonna call it 5500. I don't think it was that. It might have been 5508, but I can't read my writing, so... Series 2028. And 321. Last one, I promise. Is 8679. No. SCP 3. Oh my god, I cannot. 3. She can type. I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk and talk, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that much multitasking. 2026. Save the heck out of that. And that's 321, according to my potential miscounting, that I'm going to keep. I will double check this before next stream. Which gives us to 79? Muted, you bastards! Tell me these things! I pressed the number 9 somewhere and it didn't like it. Blech. Well, you saw the number change, and now I'm just messing about with the camera because I want to be at a nice angle as we walk. I thought if we do like a side profile like this, that I want to do it from the other side, really. I want to go like this way and be able to look at you like this, if I can. Hello over there. How are you? Hi. But then we're walking this way. Yeah, I think that's good. So if I can anchor that local, then when we walk, no, not quite. Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, let's go on a walk, guys, and read some book. I think you can trust me to never say you're muted unless you're talking. Just like Sundays in the park with me, Nan. Do you read and you didn't walk with your Nan? That's fun. Right, I need to make sure I can see the book. That would help. No, don't make it full screen. I need to like fit it into my screen nicely. Yes, I know. I should have done this all before stream, but no. Wait, what if I just throw this on the other page? It means like covering OBS, but it means I can see it at least. And then I'm like looking at you guys and looking at the book. Maybe not looking where I'm going, but that's okay. We don't need to see where we're going. Hello, Brathian. There's words on the screen. I've never seen anything like that before. I know, right? Wordy McWordpants. This is chapter 6 of Wordy McWordpants / Legends of King Arthur and His Knights by 2 people who were knighted and have no idea how to actually write, but they're knighted, so who cares? This chapter includes the marriage of King Arthur and Queen Guinevere, the founding of the Round Table, and the adventure of Hart and Hound. I have no idea who they are. It befell upon a certain day that King Arthur said to Merlin, "My lords and knights, do daily pray me now to take a wife, but I will have none without thy counsel, for thou..." I feel like I've read this bit. Oh, well, let's read it again. For thou hast ever helped me since I came first to this crown. It is well, said Merlin, that I don't walk into a door. That thou shouldest take a wife. For no man of bounteous and noble nature should live without one. But is there any lady whom thou lovest better than another? Yea, said King Arthur, I love Guinevere, daughter of King Leodegrance of Camelgard. Oh, can I go in that house? Yes, I can! Sorry, anyway. I looked up the guy who wrote this, James Knowles specifically, and he was best buddies with Alfred Lord Tennyson. Tennyson's poem of Ilids, the King, is one of my favourite Arthurian pieces. Oh, cool! So this guy was best mates. Nil grass! He's grassing on him. I could walk through closed doors. I know, right? I'm amazing like that. Said King Arthur, I love Guinevere, daughter of King Leodegrance of Camelot, of Camelgard. Oh, it's dark up here. Let's go downstairs. I don't like it up there. Can I go up this door? Yay. Who also holdeth in his house the round... I have read this! I have read this. We've done, like, the whole founding of the round table thing. Then we had Gawain doing some stuff. Maybe. Let's have a quick... I'm gonna skim through a little bit. So we had, yeah, as for her beauty, Scartha set word to Leodegrance, and he was great, but then they had to deal with King, as he loved her since he first saw her, he rescued Leodegrance from King Rhys of North Wales. When Leodegrance heard the story, cried out, yay, go marry my daughter, woohoo, I'll give you the round table as a gift, yay! Then they did some stuff, then, oh yeah, because then he was like, I need to... We had the whole founding, I think we did. Gawain just, like, knight failing Gawain? Yes, you did. Knight failing Gawain is the thing. How? Weave Master, welcome. That is a hell of a name. 10 out of 10. That's so 2000s of you. Presently came after King Pelennor. Wait till I also be a knight. Oh yeah, King Pelennor to his brother. Yeah, he did some knightly nonsense. I don't know. Gaslight game, keep Gawain fail. Yeah! Thanks. I would have joined King Arthur under its name for sure. So we've Master 69 XXX. The greatest of all knights. Knightly nonsense would make for a good alternative title for this book. It absolutely would. What is I named at all? I really can't remember where the heck we were. Did I not highlight it like a good person? Clearly I fudging didn't. Good lord. I am a shameful book reader. How dare I not actually put a marker as to where the fudge I got to? Well, I guess we're rereading because I don't want to miss anything. Let's go from Knightly Songs of All. And when they came to Camelot, King Arthur made great joy, and all the city came with him. Let's continue walking for a bit. Walking! And all the city with him, and riding forth with a great retinue, he met Guinevere and her company, and led her through the streets. No, but I don't, let's just start the next chapter. Maybe that's better doing. Budget. We'll just go to the next chapter. Anyone watching me think I'm nuts? I am! It's absolutely correct. They would be on the money. Okay, we're just gonna start at chapter 7 and hope for the best. King Arthur and Sir Accolon of Gaul. Being now happily married, King Arthur, for a season, took his pleasure with great tournaments and jousts and huntings. So, once upon the time, the king and many knights rode hunting in a forest, and Arthur, King Urience, and Sir Accolon of Gaul followed after a great hart. And being all three were mounted, they chased as fast as they chased so fast that they outsped their company and left them many miles behind, but riding still as rapidly as they could go. At length their horses fell dead under them. Then, being all three on foot, and seeing the stag not far before them, very weary, and night spent, "What shall we do?" said King Arthur, "for we are hard bested." "Let us go on foot," said King Urience, "till we can find some lodging." At that they saw the stag lying upon the bank of a great lake, with a hound springing to his throat, and many other hounds trooping towards him, so running forward, Arthur blew a death note on his horn, and slew the hart. Then lifting up his eyes, he saw before him on the lake a barge, all draped down to the water's edge, with silken folds and curtains, which swiftly came towards him and touched upon the sands. But when he went up and close and looked in, he saw no earthly creature. He cried out to his companions, "Sirs, come hither, and let us see what there is in this ship." So they all three went in and found it everywhere throughout furnished and hung with rich draperies of silk and gold. This count as getting your steps in? Yeah. A British VTuber reading Arthurian legend. Love it so much. Thank you. Thank you. As we wander some countryside. By this evening eventide had come, when suddenly 100 torches were set up on all sides of the barge, and gave a dazzling light. At the same time came forth 12 fair damsels, and saluted King Arthur by his name, kneeling on their knees, and telling him that he was welcome, and should they have their noblest cheer, for which the king thanked them courteously. Then did they lead him and his fellows to a splendid chamber, where there was a table spread with all the richest furniture, and costliest wines and viands. She's using the Oculus Rift to walk IRL. I wish. Apparently there is a way to do that. Apparently if you get like a standing treadmill and you can use the Switch Joy-Cons on your legs and you can actually do walking in VR as a thing. There's whole little clubs that do that. They dither, hither, and thither with zither. I do be dithering, and hithering and zithering. Mum, there's a mad lady wandering around outside talking about King Arthur. Should we call the police? Probably. There's only one knight you can trust, and that is XX_maiden stealer maiden stealer _XX. They just want to vibe on Sunday night crusading. Where am I? I have no idea. Continue. Yeah, there are ways to make a working treadmill for it, but the existing one's like $1K last time I checked. There are cheaper ways. It's still like 3 digits to get it working at the very least, but like I said, Switch Joy-Cons and just like an under-desk treadmill, and you've got it. Hello, Dis, and hello, and. I know we haven't had a big and sentence yet, but give it time. Hello, boss. Welcome. Where was I up to? And there were served with them all kinds of wines and meats, till never in his life supper better, or more royally. After supper they led him to another chamber, that which he had never beheld a richer, where he never beheld a richer, where he had left to rest. Some of these sentences don't make sense. Anything to avoid touching. Remember people thinking people used to talk like these old books. Yeah. I don't think so. Where am I? There's a lake and I'm lost. King Eurance also and Sir Accolon were each conducted into rooms of like magnificence, and so they all three fell asleep, and being very weary, slept deeply all night. Walk into the lake? We can give it a go. I might die, though. King Urine. Oh, hey, look, the lake. It's King Urine. Let's go backwards so you can see it. Into the lake we go, guys. Oh, look at me. I'm a mermaid. But when the morning broke, King Eurance found himself in his own house in Camelot. He knew not how, and Arthur awaking found himself in a dark dungeon, and heard round him nothing but the groans of woeful knights, prisoners like himself. Then said King Arthur, "Who are ye thus groaning and complaining?" And someone answered him, "Alas, we all be prisoners, even 20 good knights, and some of us have lain here 7 years or some more, nor seen the light of day for all that time." "For what cause?" said King Arthur. "Know ye not then yourself?" They answered, "We will soon tell you. The lord of his strongest castle is Sir Damas, and is the fastest, falsest, and most traitorous knight that lived, and he hath a younger brother, a good and noble knight, whose name is Outzlake. This traitor Damas, though passing rich, will give his brother nothing of his wealth, save what Outzlake keepeth to himself by force." We're going in. POV, British woman chases the other of the woods reading British legends menacingly. I've tried to make it so like the camera angle isn't that menacing, so that you're like walking beside me rather than towards you. It could be creepier. This could be. I could easily make this creepier. Hello, Boris. Quick, Briny, start distributing swords as a system of government. Yeah! I will distribute swords to my mods. Oh no, I should have a sword as an emoji. And then that is the sword I distribute to my members. Mom, the mad lady just walked into the lake. Are you sure she'll be okay? So dumbass the traitorous Yash. Creepy storytelling. I changed it so it wasn't creepy. I don't want it to be... Maybe if I do read a spooky story, I should be, like, coming towards the camera a little bit too much. That'd be so funny. Walking through, like, the Terminator of literature. I'm glad this is getting so entertaining. This is working, and I like it. It's good. We're good. 10 out of 10. I found something great. This was a last-minute thought. Also, congrats on being a member for 19 months, Boris. Well done. You've been around a long time, and I appreciate that a lot. That'd be a good idea for Halloween, just walk towards us menacingly while reading ghost stories. Yes, you're enjoying this? Wonderful. I'm glad it's working. I'm glad it's doing good. Although passing rich will give his brother, he hath no share of the inheritance. He owneth. Is there a cape? Ooh, what's in here? He owneth nevertheless one fair rich manor, upon whereof he lived. Can I go in it? Oh. To the mines! We're in the mines, but you can see fuck all in it. Let me brighten it up for you guys. Nope, that's the zoom. There we go. You might be able to see the mines now. This is where we send the miners to work. He owneth nevertheless one fair rich manor, wherewith upon he liveth love for all men far and near. Oh my god. He runs a gay inn. But Damas is altogether hated, and as his brother is beloved. Oh, we got like torchlight. Cool. Right, I'll go to your head for the mine. She's a British or broke through door. She's gonna make us ring. Just like the Kool-Aid man, but I come with books. For he is merciless and cowardly, and now for many years there hath been war between these brothers. Sir Outlake, let's not walk into the hall. Oh, that's all there is in the mine. Let's go by the mine again. Sir Outlake evermore defieth Damas to come forth and fight with him body to body for inheritance, and if he be too cowardly, to find some champion knight that will fight for him. And Damas hath agreed to find some champion, but never yet hath found a knight to take his evil cause in hand, or wage a battle for him. So with a strong band of men at arms he lieth ever in ambush, and taketh captive every passing knight who may unwarily go near, and bringeth him into his castle, and desireth him either to fight Sir Outlake, or to lie for ever in endurance. And thus hath he dealt with all of us, for we all scorned to take up such a cause for such a false, foul knight. But rather one by one came here, where many a good knight hath died of hunger and disease. But if for one of us would fight, Sir Damas would deliver all the rest. This is funny. Becoming an Irish stream. Nobody say anything. What did I do? Did I walk through trees? I might have walked through trees. Oh, I'm still so bright. That's why. That's why you were saying things. Ha ha ha. I figured it out. Let me just... There we go. The lighting is back. Me bracing for the shockwave, thinking the nukes are funny falling. Only to see it's pretty outside. Yes, bright lights. My tea was getting cold. It needed to be downed. The chug had to happen. If I let the tea get any colder, it wasn't going to be good. It wasn't going to be very nice to drink after that. Nope, nope. God of his mercy, send you deliverance, said King Arthur, and sat turning his mind how all these things should end, and how he might himself gain freedom for so many noble hearts. Anon there came a damsel to the king, saying, Sir, if thou wilt fight for my lord, into the lake we go. Real talk, I'm so glad to have found your channel, and have been able to support it even for a little for so long. I wish we went. Aw, Boris. I really appreciate you finding my channel too, because obviously you've been a steadfast moderator for me for a while. For a very long time. You protected me, and you've been just a pleasure to have around. Thank you. I like that the internet fates crossed our paths. Sir, if thou shalt fight for my lord, thou shalt be delivered out of prison, but else nevermore shalt thou escape with thy life. Nay, said King Arthur, that is but a hard choice. Yet I had rather fight than die in prison, and if I may deliver not myself alone, but all these others, I will do the battle. Yea, said the damsel, it shall be even so. Then, and said King Arthur, I am ready now, if but I had a horse and armour. Fear not, said she, thou shall Picture already wizards. No. If you think moderators are good, what about extreme wars? I will catch up to you. I can start running. I don't have to walk. I can run. You'll never escape. Nah, we could run. Why walk when you can run? No, we don't need to worry. Just a walk. Just a walk. Why not embrace the scary? No, not that far. We want to be like a bit further away if we're doing this creepy. Then I need to set local. Just one more. I had a knife toggle for my 2D, but not this. I'm running after you now. Now I can use my controller, which I kind of like too. So let me just get that up. Anyway, let's have a jog. Wow, she's so scary. I need to go find a sword somewhere so I can run at you with the weapon. Oh Lord, she is running. Fear not, said she, that shalt thou have presently, and shalt lack nothing proper for the fight. Have I not seen thee? Said the cat just walked through a tree. Have I not seen thee, said the king, at King Arthur's court? For it seemeth that thy face is known to me. Nay, said the damsel, I was never seen there. I am Sir Damas's daughter, and have never been but a day's journey from this castle. But she spoke falsely, for she was one of the damsels of Morgan le Fay, the great enchantress, who was King Arthur's half-sister. Da da da! I ran through tree. Nothing can stop it! She will get to you and read books to you, whether you like it or not. When Sir Damas knew that there had been at length a knight found who would fight for him, he sent for Arthur, and finding him a man so tall and strong and straight of limb, he was passingly well pleased, and made a covenant with him, that he should fight unto the utmost for his cause, and that all the other knights should be delivered. And when they were sworn to each other on the holy gospels, all those imprisoned knights were straightway led forth and delivered, but abode there one and all to see the battle. Oh, okay, so they stayed. I'm gonna use this stream to introduce Brony to people. You know what? It is kind of the best flavor of me, I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of encapsulating my weirdness and my vibe. So maybe if I ever do apply to Hololive, I should just send this stream in. Howdy! Are you ready to be ran at while reading? Cleats run. The whimsy. The whimsy. Where's the castle? We need to go back to the castle at some point, but I am so utterly lost. This is a big world. Why, Brian, you running? Well, originally I thought it'd be nice if we read while having a nice stroll. But then everyone was like, oh lord, she's walking towards. And then I thought, well, why not embrace the whole running towards you and forcing you to read thing? So now I found the castle! Now we're just running and reading. Running and reading. Attack the castle! In the meanwhile, there what had happened to Sir Acklon of Gaul. A strange adventure. For while he awoke from his deep slumber upon a silken barge, he found himself upon the edge of a deep well. Into the water it is. I don't think that's the castle, though. I can't wait for the Halloween special where the nerd reads stories from behind the bathroom door, the PT house, peeking out. Oh my god, yes! This stream symbolizes. This stream, Brady, symbolizes all of my adult responsibility. What the fuck? There's nothing creepy here. I didn't pick a creepy world. I couldn't handle a creepy world. I'd be reading and then screaming halfway through. And not even just screaming lines, it would just be screaming. Ah! We found a way! Found the town, found the castle and everything. Wonderful. He found himself upon the edge of a deep well. In an instant, peril of falling thereinto. Whereat, leaping up in great affright, he crossed himself and cried aloud, May God preserve my lord King Arthur and King Urience, for those damsels in the ship may have betrayed us, and were doubtless devils and no women. And if I may escape this misadventure, I will certainly destroy them whencesoever I may find them. With that, there came to him a dwarf. Oh, there's lots of creepy VR worlds. There's lots of horror VR worlds. Yes, yes. I mean, that does sound like a good stream, reading while in a decent horror map. Maybe we can do that. Like a backrooms horror map or something. This is like a scene from Jurassic Park where the guy says, Stay out of the tall grass, and the Brady leaps out and eats. This stream is the most exercise I've had all year. I do also, I like it in theory. In practice, Brady. Honestly, I think reading while doing a horror thing would low-key make it a bit easier to not be scared because I'd have something else to focus on, kind of thing. That'd be quite good. Back to the castle. With that, there came to him a dwarf with a great mouth and flat nose, and saluted him, saying that he came from Queen Morgan Le Fay. Let's go into our house. Oh, this is a little spooky. And she greeteth you well, said he, and biddeth you be strong of heart. For tomorrow you shall do battle with a strange knight. And therefore she hath sent you here Excalibur, King Arthur's sword, and scabbard likewise. Oh. And she desireth you as you to love her, and fight this battle to the utmost, without any mercy, as you have promised her you would fight, when she would require it of you, and she will make a rich queen forever of any damsel that shall bring her that knight's head with whom you are to fight. Well, said Sir Accolon, tell you, my lady, Queen Morgan, I shall hold her. I shall hold to that promise her, now that I have this sword, and, said he, I suppose it was to bring about this battle, that she made all these enchantments by her craft. You have guessed rightly, said the dwarf, and therewithin left him. Yeah, it would seem Morgan Le Fay's forcing him to fight, so I assume that he's going to be fighting Arthur. Cannot say school stuff. Aw, that's fair. I hope your school stuff is easy and you get through it fast. Have a good day, howdy. Let's go upstairs. Then came a knight, and lady, and 6 squires to Sir Accolon, and took him to a manor house hard by, and gave him noble cheer, and the house belonged to Sir Outzlake. Yeah, so, Accolon and Arthur are gonna fight. The brother of Sir Damas, for so had Morgan Le Fay contrived with her enchantments. Now Sir Outzlake himself was at that time sorely wounded and disabled, having been pierced through both his thighs by a spear thrust. When, therefore, Sir Damas sent down messengers to his brother, bidding him make ready by tomorrow morning, and be in the field to fight. Where's the door gone? There's the door. With a good knight, for that he had found a champion ready to do battle all points. Sir Outzlake was sorely annoyed and distressed. No, I don't want to jump off. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I want to jump off this side. Can I? No. Dork. Sir Acon of Auto-Tune. Sir Acon of Auto-Tune. Can I fall down here? No. Boo. Should we go on a rooftop? Yeah! Sobriety of the rooftops. And distressed, for he knew he had small chance of victory, while yet he was disabled by his wounds, notwithstanding. Leave the castle. There we go. Parkour! Yeah. He determined to take battle in hand, although he was so weak that he must needs be lifted to his saddle. But when Sir Accolon of Gaul heard this, he sent a message to Sir Outzlake offering to take battle in his stead, which cheered Sir Outzlake highly, who thanked Sir Accolon with his heart, and joyfully accepted him. So on the morrow King Arthur was armed and well horsed, and asked Sir Damas, "When shall we go to the field?" "Sir," said Sir Damas, "you shall first hear mass." And when mass was done, there came a squire on a great horse, and asked Sir Damas if his knights were ready, for our knight is already in the field. Then King Arthur mounted on horseback, and there around were all the knights and barons and people of the country, and 12 of them were chosen to wait upon the 2 knights who were about to fight. And as King Arthur sat on horseback, there came a damsel from Morgan le Fay, and brought him a sword made like Excalibur, and a scabbard also, and said to him, Morgan le Fay sendeth you here your sword for her great love's sake. And the king thanked her, and believed it to be as she said, but she traitorously deceived him, for both sword and scabbard were counterfeit, brittle and false, and the true sword Excalibur was in the hands of Sir Accolon. Then, at the sound of a trumpet, the champions set themselves on opposing sides of the field, and given rein and spur to their horses, urged them to so great speed that each smiting the other in the middle of the shield, rolled his opponent onto the ground, both horse and man. Then, starting up immediately, both drew their swords and rushed swiftly together. And so they fell too eagerly, and gave each other many great and mighty strokes. Only hear Damas and nothing else. Damas! Damas! D-A-M-A-S. D-A-M-A-S. Damas! And as they were thus fighting, the damsel Vivien, Lady of the Lake, who loved King Arthur, came upon the ground, for she knew by her enchantments how Morgan le Fay had craftily devised to have King Arthur slain by his own sword that day. I think we're coming to the end of the map. Yes, we fell out of the world. I may have to respawn. Yeah, okay, don't do that, guys. All I want to achieve in all my life is to be well. Yeah, so this is the waiting room of this world. It's a little RP world that we're in. We're in a world called, let me do this way. Trent Castle. So if you're wondering and you want to have a little look yourself, you can, find Trent Castle. Let's... There we go. Back to the world. Ooh, boats! Boats. Let's go. I don't think I can get to the boats, unfortunately. Where was I? I did literally run to the ends of the earth. Vivien, Lady of the Lake, Vivi! And therefore came to save his life. And Arthur and Sir Accolon were now grown hot against each other. Oh my god. Oh, that's a yowie laugh. Grown hot against each other, and spared not strength, therefore came to save his life. And Arthur and Sir Accolon were now... I just read that one. Not strength nor fury in their fierce assaults. But the king's sword gave way continually before Sir so that every stroke he was sore wounded, and his... Okay, when we talk about blood in this, then it's a bit weird. And his blood ran from him so fast that it was a marvel he could stand. Things are heating, and they... Oh, what is going on? When King Arthur saw the ground be blooded, he bethought him in dismay that there was magic treason worked upon him, and that his own true sword was changed, for it seemed to him that the sword in Sir Accolon's hand was Excalibur, for fearfully it drew his blood at every blow, while what he had held himself kept no sharp edge, nor fell with any force upon his foe. Now, knight, look to thyself, and keep thee well from me, cried out Sir Accolon. But King Arthur answered not, and gave him such a buffet on the helm as made him stagger and nigh fall upon the ground. But Sir Accolon withdrew a little, and came on with Excalibur on high, and smote King Arthur in return with such a mighty stroke across as almost felled him. And both being now in hottest wrath, they gave each other grievous and savage blows. But Arthur all the time was losing so much blood that scarcely could he keep upon his feet, yet so full of knighthood that nightly he endured all the pain, and still sustained himself, though now he was so feeble that he thought himself about to die. Sir Accolon as yet had lost no drop of blood, and being very bold and confident in Excalibur, he grew more vicious and hasty in his assault. But all men who beheld them said they never saw a knight fight half as well as King Arthur, and all the people were so grieved for him that they besought Sir Damas and Sir Outzlake to make up their quarrel, so to stay the fight, but they would not. Is this a cave? Oh, okay. Cool. So still the battle raged, till Arthur drew a little back for breath, and a few moments' rest. But Accolon came upon him, following fiercely and crying aloud, "It is no time for me to suffer thee to rest!" and therewith set upon him. Then Arthur, full of scorn and rage, lifted up his sword, and struck Sir Accolon upon the helm so mightily that he drove him to his knees. But with the force of that great stroke, his brittle, treacherous sword broke short off at the hilt, and fell down in the grass among the blood, leaving the pommel only in his hand. At that King Arthur thought within himself that all was over, and secretly prepared in his mind for death, yet kept himself so knightly sheltered by his shield that he lost no ground, and made as though he yet had hope and cheer. Then said Sir Accolon, "Sir Knight, thou now art overcome and canst endure no longer, seeing thou art weaponless, and hast lost already so much blood. Yet I am fully loath to slay thee. Yield then, therefore, to me, as thou art weaponless, and hast as recreant." "Nay," said King Arthur, "that may I not, for I have promised to do battle to the utmost. By the faith of my body, nay, while my life lasteth, and I had rather die with honour than..." I think we're getting to the end of the map again. Oh, there's snow up here. "And I had rather die with honour than live with shame. And if it were possible for me to die in 100 times while my life lasted, that 100 times I had rather die as often than yield to thee. For though I lack weapons, I shall lack no worship. It shall be to thy shame to slay me weaponless." I think this is the end of the map again. Let's go this way. "Ah!" shouted Sir Accolon, "as for the shame I will not spare. Look at thyself, Sir Knight, for thou art even now but a dead man." Wherewith he drove him with pitiless force, and struck him nearly down. But Arthur evermore, waxing in valour, as he waned in blood, pressed on Sir Accolon with his shield, and hilt at him so fiercely with the pommel in his hand, and hurled him 3 strides back. This, therefore, so confused Sir Accolon that, rushing him all dizzily to deliver once again a furious blow, even as he struck Excalibur by Vivian's magic, fell from his hands upon the earth, beholding which King Arthur lightly sprang to it, and grasped it, and forthwith felt it was his own good sword, and said to it, Thou hast been from me all too long, and done me too much damage. Then, spying the scabbard hanging from Sir Accolon's side, he sprang and pulled it from him, and cast it away as far as he could throw it. For, as long as he had worn it, Arthur's new life would have been kept secure. Arthur knew his life would have been kept secure, not Arthur's life would have been kept secure. O knight, then said the king, thou hast this day wrought me such damage by this sword, but now art thou come to thy death, for I shall not warrant thee, but that thou shalt suffer, ere we part, somewhat of that thou hast made me suffer. And therewithal King Arthur flew at him with all his might, and pulled him to the earth, and then struck off his helm, and gave him on the head a fearful buffet, till the blood leapeth forth. Now I will slay thee, cried King Arthur, for his heart was hardened, and his body all on fire with fervour, till for a moment he forgot his knightly mercy. Slay me thou mayest, said Sir Accolon, for thou art the best knight I have ever fought, and I see well that God is with thee, and I, as thou hast, have promised to fight this battle to the utmost, and never to be recreant while I live. Recreant? Not sure. These two absolutely will be at it. This is the most intense bedroom scene. Therefore shall I never yield me with my mouth. Recreant poetry. And God must do with my body what he will. And as Sir Accolon spoke, King Arthur thought that he knew his voice, and parting all his blood-stained hair from out of his eyes, and leaning down towards him, saw indeed it was his friend, and own true knight. Then said he, keeping his own visor down, I pray thee tell me what country art thou, and what court? Sir Knight, oh, nope, that's the end of the map again. He answered, I am of King Arthur's court, and my name is Sir Accolon of Gaul. Then said the king, O Sir Knight, I pray thee tell me who gaveth thee this sword, and from whom thou hast it. Then said Sir Accolon, Woe worth this sword, for by it I have gotten my death. This sword hath been in my keeping for now almost 12 months, and yesterday Queen Morgan le Fay, wife of King Urience, sent it to me by dwarf, that wherein I might in some way slay her brother King Arthur, for thou must understand that King Arthur is the man she hated the most in all the world, being full of envy and jealousy, because he is of greater worship and renowned than any other of her blood. She loveth me also, as much as she doth hate him. And if she might contrive to slay King Arthur by her craft and magic, then would she straightway kill her husband also, and make me king of all this land, and herself my queen, to reign with me. But now, said he, all that is over, for this day I am come to my death. It would have been sore treason of thee to destroy thy lord, said King Arthur. Into the lake. I am the lady of the lake. Recreant, cowardly, unfaithful to a belief. That makes sense. Let me just have some water. This reading and running round's thirsty work. Thou sayest truly, he answered. But now that I have told thee, and openly confess to thee all that foul treason whereof I now do bitterly repent, tell me, I pray thee, whence art thou, and of what court? O Sir Accolon, said King Arthur, I learn that I am myself King Arthur. When Sir Accolon heard this, he cried aloud, Alas, my gracious lord, have mercy on me, for I knew thee not. Thou shalt have mercy, said he, for thou knewest not my person at this time, and though by thine own confession thou art a traitor, yet I do believe thee less, because thou hast been blinded by the false crafts of my sister Morgan le Fay, whom I have trusted more than all people. This noble knight that I have fought with is the noblest and most worshipful in all the world, for it is King Arthur, our liege and lord and sovereign king. And full sorely I repent now. For I have trusted more than all others of my kin, and whom I now shall know well how to punish. Then did Sir Accolon cry loudly, O lords and all good people, this noble knight that I have fought with is the noblest and most worshipful of all the world. For it is King Arthur, our liege and lord and sovereign king. And fully, sorely, I repent that I have ever lifted lance against him, though in ignorance I did it. Oh, we're back to the snowy place. I think I'm going in a giant triangle. Then all the people fell down on their knees and prayed the pardon of the king for suffering him to come to such strait. But he replied, Pardon ye cannot have, for truly ye have nothing sinned. But here ye see what ill adventure may oftentimes befall knights errant, for to my own hurt, and his danger also, I have fought with one of my own knights. Then the king commanded Sir Damas to surrender to his brother the whole manor, Sir Outzlake only yielding him to paraphrase every year for palfrey? Like parlay? Parlay. The writer has a way of writing these, or in my mind, this one in particular was a wee weird. Why are we running? Mostly because I didn't feel like I was taking advantage of VR chat enough, and I thought it'd be nice to have a walk while we read things, and then everyone was like, "Oh Lord, she's running towards us," and then that's how we're doing this. For fun, Ixnum. For fun. If this isn't a heated rivalry season 2, oh, I hope there is. Said a parlay every year for, he said scornfully, it would become thee better to ride on that coursier. Counterpoint, why are you not running? It's getting closer. It may be too late to escape. We could go backwards. I could run away from you. Bye! Nah. Yes, that's true. You all should be running as well. It only makes sense. Wow. Sorry, I need a break from running. Okay, there we go. Break time's over. Keep running. Just keep running. Just keep running. And ordered Damas, upon pain of death, never again to touch or to distress knight-errant riding on their adventures, and also to make full compensation and satisfaction to the 20 knights whom he held in prison, And if any of them, said the king, come to my court complaining that he hath not fulfilled, that he had not full satisfaction of thee for his injuries, by my head thou shalt die therefore. Oh, back to the cornfield. Briny in the cornfield. I can't jump the fence. There we go. Afterwards, King Arthur asked Sir Outlake to come with him to his court, where he should become a knight of his, and if his deeds were noble, be advanced by all he desire. So then he took his leave of all the people, and mounted upon horseback, and Sir Accolon went with him to an abbey hard by, where both their wounds were dressed. But Sir Accolon died within 4 days after, and when he was dead, the king sent his body to Queen Morgan to Camelot, saying that he sent her a present in return for the sword Excalibur which she had sent him by the damsel. Hey sis, I heard you tried to murder me. Here's the man you loved. Here's his corpse. Wow, King Arthur, that's petty. Absolutely petty. So on the morrow there came a damsel from Queen Morgan to the king, and brought with her the richest mantle that ever was seen, for it was sent as full of precious stones as they could stand against each other, and they were the richest stones that ever the king saw. And the damsel said, Your sister sendeth you this mantle, and prayeth you take her gift, and in whatsoever thing she hath offered you, she will amend it at your pleasure. To this the king replied not, although the mantle pleased him much, with what came of the Lady of the Lake, and said, Sir, put not on this mantle till thou hast seen more, and in no now wise let it be put upon thee, or any of thy knights, till ye have made the bringer of it first put it on her. It shall be done as thou dost counsel, said the king. Then he said to the damsel that came from his sister, Damsel, I would see this mantle ye have brought me upon yourself. Sir, said she, it will not beseem me to wear a knight's garment. By my head, said King Arthur, thou shalt wear it ere to go on any other person's back. And so they put it on her by force, and forthwith the garment burst into flame, and burned the damsel to cinders. When the king saw that, he hated that false witch Morgan le Fay with all his heart, and evermore was deadly quarrel between her and Arthur to end their lives. Da da da! Well, now we know. Oh. Is that tiring work? Tiring work is reading and running. Reading and running and reading and running and reading and running. Arthur absolutely was a terrifying petty bitch. And then he was surprised that she sent him a death trap. You sent her, like her boy, her not her husband. She had a different husband who she was going to kill to marry this guy. And you sent the corpse to her? Arthur! This man. Yeah, anymore. Arthur conquers Rome. What? And is crowned emperor. Have you heard of Emperor Arthur? Good lord. Right, yo. Chapter 8. And now again, the second time, there came ambassadors from Lucius Tiberius, Emperor of Rome, demanding under pain of war tribute and homage from King Arthur, and the restoration of all Gaul which had been conquered from the tribune Follow. Arthur wipes out Pompey. Arthur's other name is Vesuvius, have you not heard? When they had delivered their message, the king bade them withdraw, while he consulted with his knights and barons what reply to send. Then some of the younger knights would have slain the ambassadors, saying their speech was a rebuke to all who heard the king insulted by it. But when King Arthur heard that, he ordered none to touch them upon pain of death, and sending officers, he had them taken to a noble lodging, and there entertained with the best cheer. And he said, Oh, I thought I was off the map again. It's okay, I'm just underwater. Let no dainty be spared, for the Romans are great lords, and though their message please me not, yet I must remember mine honour. Gotta do that hospitality nonsense. Then the lords and knights of the Round Table were called on to declare their counsel, and what should be done upon this matter. And Sir Cador of Cornwall, speaking first, said, Sir, this message is the best news I've heard for a long time, for we have been now idle and at rest for many days. I trust that thou wilt make sharp war upon the Romans, wherein I doubt not we shall gain honour. Honour and glory. I believe well, said Arthur, that thou art pleased, Sir Cador, but that is scarce an answer to the Emperor of Rome, and his demand doth grieve me sorely, for truly I will never pay him tribute. Wherefore, lords, I pay ye counsel me. Now I have understood that Belinus and Brenius, knights of Britain, held the Roman Empire in their lands for many days, and also Constantine, the son of Helen, which is open evidence not only that we owe Rome no tribute, but that I, being descended from them, may of right claim the emperor. Ooh. Arthur's a little bit Roman. Arthur's a little bit Roman. Arthur's a little bit Roman. Then said King Anguish of Scotland, what a name, Sir, thou... No, I'm not even going to do a Scottish accent. I can't. Sir, thou oughtest right to be above all other kings, for in all Christendom there not thine equal, and I counsel thee to never obey the Romans, for when they reigned here they grievously distressed us, and put the land to great and heavy burdens, and here, for my part, I swear to avenge me on them when I may, and will furnish thee with 20,000 men at arms, whom I will pay and keep, and who shall wait on thee with me. Oh lordy. I think I just ran down a mountain. Arthur wipes up on paper. When it shall will furnish who shall wait with me when it shall please thee. Then the king of Little Britain arose and promised King Arthur 30,000 men, and likewise many other kings and dukes and barons promised aid as the Lord of West Wales 30,000 men, Sir Ewain and his cousin 30,000 men, and so forth. Sir Lancelot also, and every other knight of the Round Table promised each man a great host. So the king, passing joyfully at their courage and goodwill, thanked them all heartily, and sent for the ambassadors again to hear his answers. I will, said he, that ye now go back straightway unto the emperor your master, and tell him that I give no heed to his words. For I have conquered all my kingdoms by the will of God, and by my own right arm, and I am strong enough to keep them, without paying tribute to any earthly creature. But on the other hand, I claim both tribute and submission from himself, and also claim the sovereignty of all his empire, whereto I am entitled by the right of my own ancestors, sometime king of this land, and say to him that I will shortly come to Rome, and by God's grace will take possession of my empire and subdue all rebels. Wherefore, lastly, I command him, and all the lords of Rome, that they forthwith pay me their homage, under pain of my chastisement and wrath. What a speech, bro. Then he commanded his treasurers to give the ambassadors great gifts, and defray all their charges, and appointed Sir Cador to convey them worshipfully out of the land. So when they returned to Rome and came before Lucius, he was sore angry at their words, and said, I thought this Arthur would have instantly obeyed my orders, and have served me as humbly as any other king. But because of his fortune in Gaul, he hath grown insolent. Ah, Lord, said one of the ambassadors, refrain from such vain words, for truly I and all with me were fearful at his royal majesty and fearful at his royal majesty and angry countenance. I fear me thou hast made a rod for thee more sharp than thou hast counted on. He meaneth to be master of this empire, and is another kind of man than thou supposest, and holdeth the most noble court of all the world. We saw him on the New Year's Day, served at his table by 9 knights, and the noblest company of other princes, lords, and knights, that ever in all the world. And in his person, he is the most manly seeming man. He is the most manliest man in all Mantown that liveth, and looketh like to conquer all the earth. Then Lucius sent messengers to all the subject countries of Rome, and brought together a mighty army, and assembled 16 kings, and many dukes, princes, lords, and admirals, and a wondrous great multitude of people. 50 giants also, born of fiends, were set around him for a bodyguard. With all that hostile, he straightway went for Rome, and passed beyond the mountains into Gaul, and burned the towns, and ravaged all the country of that province, in rage for its submission to King Arthur, then moved towards Little Britain. When we talk about the man, we know who we're talking about. The man, capital T, capital M. He's such a man, he went to the Isle of Man and called it boy. There we go. Meanwhile, King Arthur, having a parliament at York, left the realm in charge of Sir Badwain and Sir Constantine. and crossed the sea from Sandwich to meet Lucius. And so soon he was landed, he sent Sir Gawain, Sir Bors, and Sir Lionel, and Sir Bedivere to the Emperor, commanding him to move swiftly and in haste out of his land, and, if not, to make himself ready for battle, and not to continue ravaging the country. And, oh, we got one of the ands again! This is why this stream is titled the way it is. To move swiftly and in haste out of this land, and, if not, to make himself ready for battle, and not to continue ravaging the country, and slaying harmless people. Anon! Those noble knights attired themselves, and set forth on horseback to where they saw, in a meadow, many silken tents of diverse colours, and the Emperor's pavilion in the midst, with a golden eagle set above it. Then Sir Gawain and Sir Bors rode forward, leaving the other two behind in ambush, and gave Sir Arthur's message, to which the Emperor replied, "Return, and tell your lord that I am come to conquer him and all his land." At this Sir Gawain burned with anger, and cried out, "I had rather than all France that I might fight with thee alone." "And I also," said Sir Bors. Then a knight named Guineas, a near cousin to the Emperor, laughed out loud. "Lo! How these Britons boast and are full of pride, bragging as though they bear up all the world." At these words Sir Gawain could refrain no longer, but drew forth his sword. Gawain fail, Gawain fail, Gawain fail, Gawain fail. And with one blow shore out Guineas's head. Guineas is a whole nother guy. I'm pretty sure that's like Nero's dad. Then, with Sir Bors, he turned his horse and rode over waters and through woods back to the ambush where Sir Lionel and Sir Bedivere were waiting. The Romans followed fast behind them till the knights turned and stood, and then Sir Bors smote the foremost of them through the body with a spear, and slew him on the spot. Then came on Calibir, a huge pavian, but Sir Bors overthrew him also. And then the company of Sir Lionel and Sir Bedivere brake from their ambush, and fell on the Romans, and slew and hewed them down, and forced them to return and flee, chasing them to their tents. But as they neared the camp, a great host rushed forth, and turned the battle backwards, and in turmoil Sir Bors and Sir Beryl fell into the Roman hands. When Sir Gawain saw that, he drew his good sword, Galantine, and saw to see King Arthur's face no more if those two knights were not delivered. And then, with good Sir Idris, made so sore in onslaught that the Romans fled and left Sir Bors and Beryl to their friends. So the most he's improved! Gawain's improved! Well, he's got Galantine now. He's got his actual sword now, so now he can actually do, you know, knightly things. Hi, Dumpstar, welcome! Why do I hear Dark Souls boss music? He's riding on the ramparts. The OG sword. Yes, he's got Galantine now. He's not a knight failure. He can actually start being a knight, not a failure. Now he's got his actual sword. Can I? Oh, I want to jump up on it. can't do it. I can't jump up onto the boxes. Ooh, that box is a bit smaller. I want to jump off the ramparts! Yes! Let's go. I want to jump off the ramparts. Yeah! Okay, cool. Let's go. So the Britons return in triumph to King Arthur, having slain more than 10,000 Romans and lost no man of worship among themselves. That implies that they lost men who were not worthy of worship. When the Emperor Lucius heard of that discomfiture, he arose with all his army to crush King Arthur, and met him in the vale of Soissons. Then speaking to all his host, said, Sirs, I admonish you that this day ye fight, and acquit yourselves as men, and remembering how Rome is chief of all the earth, and mistress of the universal world, suffer not these barbarous and savage Britons to abide our onset. At that the trumpets blew out loud, and the ground trembled and shook. Soy sauce, maybe. They gathered at soy sauce. Then did the rival hosts draw near each other with great shoutings, and when they closed, no tongue can tell the fury of their smiting, and the sore struggling wounds and slaughter. Then King Arthur, with his mightiest knights, rode down into the thickest of the fight, and drew Excalibur, and slew as lightning slays for swiftness and for force. And in the midmost crowd he met a giant, Galapas by name, and struck off both his legs at the knee joints. Then saying, Now art thou a better size to deal with, smote his head off at a second blow, and the body killed 6 men falling over. Anon King Arthur spied where Lucius fought, and worked great deeds of prowess with his own hands. With forth he rode at him, and each attacked the other passing fiercely, till at last Lucius struck King Arthur with a fearful wound across the face, and Arthur in return, lifting up Excalibur on high, drove it with all his force upon the Emperor's head. Oh, let's not fall out of the world again. Giant back there would have been 5. That means I would have been nearly a giant back then. Good lord. Shivering his helmet, crashing his head in halves, and splitting his body to the breast. And when the Romans saw their emperor dead, they fled in hosts of thousands, and King Arthur and his knights and all his army followed them, and slew 100,000 men. Then, returning to the field, King Arthur rode to the place where Lucius lay dead, and round him the kings of Egypt and Ethiopia, and 7 other kings with 60 Roman senators, all noble men. All these he ordered to be carefully embalmed with aromatic gums, and laid in leaden coffins, covered with their shields and arms and banners. Then calling for 3 senators who were taken prisoner, he said to them, As the ransom of your lives, I will that ye take these dead bodies and carry them to Rome, and there present them for me, with these letters, saying that I will myself be shortly there, and I suppose the Romans will beware how they again ask tribute of me. For tell them these dead bodies that I send them are for the tribute they have dared to ask me, and if they wish for more, then I come and I will pay the rest. Oh, that's quite scary. Egypt was part of the Roman Empire at the time, I do believe, so... About as historically accurate as a Ridley Scott. Yeah, pretty much. It's Arthurian legend. It's most certainly not historically accurate. It is legend for a reason. So, with that charge, the 3 senators departed with the dead bodies and went to Rome. I haven't just wandered into the snow. I wonder where the edge of the map here is. I've always kind of turned away, but I don't know how far the snow goes, so let's go. It might go a lot farther than I think. After the battle, King Arthur entered Lorraine, Brabant, and Flanders, and thence, subduing all the countries as he went, passed into Germany, and so beyond the mountains to Lombardy and Tuscany. At length he came before a city which refused to obey him, wherefore he sat down before it to besiege it, and after a long time thus spent, King Arthur called Sir Florence and told him they began to lack food for his hosts. And not far from hence, said he, are great forests full of cattle belonging to my enemies. Go then, and bring by force all that thou canst find, and take with thee Sir Gawain, my nephew, and Sir Clegg, Sir Clermont, the captain of Cardiff, and a strong band. Is it very blinding? Apparently there's a lot. Ooh, what's that? There's something down there. There's the camera. Oh, it's like a little lava bit. Hey, we're on a lava platform. How cool. Blinded by the lights. Do I need to turn the camera down? Is it too bright? Too dark. Too bright. There we go. I'll turn it down a little bit. Anon those knights made ready, and rode over holts and hills, and through forests and woods, till they came to a great meadow full of fair flowers and grass, and there they rested themselves and their horses that night. And at dawn of the next day Sir Gawain took his horse and rode away from his fellows to seek some adventure. Soon he saw an armed knight walking his horse by a wood's side, and his shield laced on his shoulder, and no attendant with him save a page bearing a mighty spear, and on his shield were blazoned 3 gold griffins. When Sir Gawain spied him, he put his spear in rest, and riding straight to him, asked who he was. A Tuscan, he said, and they mayst prove me when thou wilt, for thou shalt be my prisoner ere we part. Then said Sir Gawain, thou vauntest thee greedily, and speakest... Oh, we're out of the thing. Yeah, we can have a little bit of light back. Oh my god, what's that called? Oh. I'm gonna go on a quick BRB. BRB! Boop. For those on YouTube, that "you can" was in response to something, a question on Twitch. Weave Master, there are books of me reading on. There's one book on Audible, where you can buy. You search Bryony Rose Smith on Audible, you will find a book called My Name is Princess Case that I have read. And I'm currently recording the second book. So yeah, if you do enjoy me reading to you, there are books on Audible that I have read. Go check them out. Check them out. What are we up to? Tuscan! And they mayest prove to me thou vauntest thee greedily, and speakest proud words. Yet I counsel thee, for thy boastings, look to thyself, the best thou canst. And that they took their spear, and ran at each other, with all the might they had, and smote each other through their shields, into their shoulders, and then drawing swords, smote with great strokes, until the fire sprang out of their helms. Then was Sir Gawain enraged, and with his good sword Galantine struck his enemy through shield and hauberk, and splintered into pieces. See? Gawain can be a good knight, he just needs his good sword. All the precious stones of it, and made so huge a wound that men might see both lungs and liver. At that, the Tuscan, groaning loudly, rushed on to Sir Gawain, and gave him a deep slanting stroke, and made him a mighty wound, and cut a great vein asunder, so that he bled fast. Then he cried out, "Bind thy wound quickly up, Sir Knight, for thou be bloodiest all..." Nope, we're coming to the end of the map anyway. For thou be bloodiest all thy horse, and thy fair armour, and all the surgeons of the world shall never staunch thy blood, for so shall it be to whomsoever is hurt with this good sword. O Lord. Then answered Sir Gawain, "It grieveth me but little, and thy boastful words give me no fear, for thou shalt suffer greater grief and sorrow ere we part. But tell me quickly, who can staunch this blood?" "That can I do," said the strange knight, "and if thou wilt aid and succour me to be christened, and to believe on God, which now I do require of thee upon thy manhood." What? What? I don't even know what's going on here anymore. "I am content." Gawain gave consent this time, said Sir Gawain, "and may God help me to grant all thy wishes. But tell me first, what sortest thou thus here alone, and of what land art thou?" "Sir," said the knight, "my name is Prienus, and my father is a great prince, who hath rebelled against Rome. He is descendant from Alexander and Hector, and of our lineage also were Joshua and Maccabeus. I am of right the king of Alexandria and Africa, and all the outer isles. Yet I would believe in the Lord thou worships. For thy labour I will give thee treasure enough. I was proud in heart that I thought none my equal, but now I have encountered thee, who hast given me my fill of fighting." Oh, we're back to the dock. Nice. "Wherefore, I pray thee, Sir Knight, tell me of thyself." Ah yes, 30 minutes of talking just to say, "Heal yourself now or you will bleed out in the next few minutes, but then we talk." continue chatting. I am no knight, said Sir Gawain. I have been brought up many years in the wardrobe of the noble Prince King Arthur, to mind his armoury and array. Why are you lying, Gawain? Why are you lying? Ah, said Prienus, if his valets are to be so keen and fierce, his knights must be passing good. Now, for the love of heaven, whether thou be knight or knave, tell me thy name. By heaven, said Gawain, now I will tell thee the truth. My name is Sir Gawain, and I am a knight of the Round Table. Now I am better pleased. Gawain tries to hide his order to be dramatic, then 2 seconds later actually admits who he is. Said Prienus, than if thou hadst given me all the province of Paris, the rich, I had rather have been torn by wild horses than that any valet should have won such victory over me as thou hast done. But now, Sir Knight, I warn thee that close by is the Duke of Lorraine, with 60,000 good men of war, and we had both best flee once, for he will find us else, and we be sorely wounded, and never likely to recover. And let my page be careful that he blow no horn, for harder by are 100 knights, my servants, and if they seize thee, no ransom of gold or silver would acquit thee. Wait, if they're your knights, then why can't you just tell them to back off? I don't understand. Then Sir Gawain rode over a river to save himself, and Sir Pyramus after him, and so they both fled till they came to his companions, who were in the meadow, where they spent the night. When Sir Wishart saw Sir Gawain so hurt, he ran to him weeping, and asked him who it was who had wounded him. And Sir Gawain told him how he had fought with that man, pointing to Sir Pyramus, who had salves to heal them both. But I can tell ye other tidings, said he, that soon we must encounter many enemies, for a great army is close to us in our front. Then Sir Pyramus and Sir Gawain alighted, and let their horses graze, while they unarmed. And when they took their armour and their clothing off, the hot blood ran down freshly from their wounds, till it was piteous to see. But Pyramus took from his page a vial filled with the 4 rivers that flowed out of paradise, and anointed both their wounds with a certain balm, and washed them with that water, and with an hour afterwards they were both as sound and whole as they ever had been. Nice! I want some of that stuff. Heal any wound in an hour? Fuck yeah! Then, at the sound of a trumpet, all the knights were assembled to council. And after much talking, Pyramus said, cease your words, for I warn you, in yonder wood ye shall find knights out of number, who will not run off the edge of the world again. Who will put out cattle for a decoy to lead you on, and ye are not 700. It's a short rest. Nevertheless, said Sir Gawain, let us encounter them, and see what they can do, and may the best have victory. They didn't even need to roll for healing. They had a magic item. Might have been one-time use, though. Then they saw suddenly an earl named Ethelwald and the Duke of Dutchman come leaping out of ambush of the woods in front, with many thousands after them, and all rode straight down to the battle. And Sir Gawain, full of ardour and courage, comforted his knights, saying, "They all are ours." Then the 700 knights in one close company set spurs to their horses and began to gallop, and fiercely met their enemies. And then the men and horses were slain and overthrown on every side, and in and out amidst them all the knights of the Round Table pressed and thrust and smote down to the earth all who withstood them, till at length the whole of them turned back and fled. Auntie Ethel? Yeah, Auntie Ethel. Auntie Ethel and Uncle Dutchman. "By heavens," said Sir Gawain, "this gladdeth well my heart, for now behold them as they flee. They are full 70,000 less in number than they were an hour ago." Thus was the battle quickly ended, and a great host of high lords and knights of Lombardy and Sacrians left dead on the field. Then Sir Gawain and his company collected a great plenty of cattle, and of gold and silver, and all kinds of treasure, and returned to King Arthur, where he still kept the siege. "Now God be thanked," he cried, "but who is he that standeth yonder by himself? He seemeth not a prisoner." "Sir," said Sir Gawain, "he is a good man with his weapons, and hath matched me, but cometh hither to be made a Christian. Had it not been for his warnings, we none of us should be here this day. I pray thee, therefore, let him be baptized, for there be few nobler men or better knights." So Prenius was christened, and made a duke and knight of the Round Table. Presently afterwards they made a last attack upon the city, and entered the walls on every side, and as the men were rushing to pillage, came the Duchess forth, with many ladies and damsels, and kneeling before King Arthur, and besought him to receive their submission. To whom the king made answer with noble countenance, "Madam, be well assured that none shall harm ye or your ladies, neither shall any that belong to thee be hurt, but the Duke must abide my judgment." Then he commanded to stay the assault, and took the keys from the Duke's eldest son, who brought them kneeling. Anon the Duke was sent a prisoner to Dover for his life, and rents and taxes were assigned for dowry of the Duchess and her children. Then he went on with all his hosts, winning all towns and castles and wastes them that refused obedience, till he came to Vtuber. From thence he sent to Rome to ask the senators whether they would receive him for their lord and governor. In answer came out to him all the senate who remained alive, and the cardinals with a majestic retinue and procession, and lay great treasure at his feet. They prayed him to come in at once to Rome, and there be peacefully crowned as emperor. At this next Christmas, said King Arthur, I will be crowned, and hold my Round Table in your city, the Round Table of Rome! Anon he entered Rome in mighty pomp and state, and after him came all his hosts, and his knights, and princes, and great lords, arrayed in gold and jewels, such as never were beheld before. And then was he crowned emperor by the Pope's hands, with all the highest solemnity that could be made. Then, after his coronation, he abode in Rome for a season, settling his lands and giving kingdoms to his knights, and servants to each one after deserving, and in such wise fashion that no man above among them complained. Also he made many dukes and earls, and loaded all his men at arms with riches and great treasures. When all this was done, the lords and knights and all the men of great estate came together before him and said, Noble Emperor, By the blessing of eternal God, thy mortal warfare is all finished, and thy conquests all achieved. For now in all the world is none so great and mighty as to dare make war with thee. Therefore we beseech and heartily pray thee of thy noble grace to turn thee homeward, and to give us also leave to see our wives and homes again. For now we have been from them a long season, and all thy journey is completed with great honour and worship. Ye say well, replied he, and to tempt God is no wisdom. Therefore make ready in all haste, and return we home to England. So King Arthur returns with his knights, and lords and armies in great triumph and joy, though all the countries he had conquered, and commanded that no man, upon pain of death, should rob or do any violence by any way. And crossing the sea, he came at length to Sandwich, where Queen Guinevere received him, and made great joy at his arrival. And though through all the realm of Britain there was such rejoicing no tongue can tell. Ta-da! And now we have the great King Arthur, Emperor of Rome. Uh-oh. And now, Sir Lancelot the Cheater. No, sorry. Sir Lancelot the Homewrecker. Oh no. The Sir Adventures of Lancelot de Lake. So hopefully we get... I actually don't really know any of Sir Lancelot's stories. I know a lot more about Gawain than I do Lancelot. Even though Lancelot's like the character. Well, he's got to marry Elaine first, right? No, Elaine's dad. I can't remember who Gawain's mama is. Either way, I do believe it's pretty much time to end this stream. Let's get your butts a bit closer. Let me. I'm gonna catch up to you now. If you want to run away, now's the time, because I'm actually gonna get closer now. Hello. I caught you! It's like knowing more about my nerd at the back. So good! You're gone! You're gone! I got you! You've been caught! Touching. With no consent! Thank you so much, Em, for coming to the stream. I'm glad this little VR jog was such a success. I'm gonna have a lot of fun, like, scouting out some more worlds that are gonna be fun to run around. If you have not already, I'd highly appreciate if you could leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow with something. I have 2 streams I know I owe you guys. To do this, like, two streams I owe you guys. A horror one and a Gunpla one now, because you guys voted for the Gunpla stream. So I'll do one of those next week. Maybe I'll procrastinate the horror game again. Probably. But probably the Gunpla. So I will do that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that'll be tomorrow. Oh, gosh. Probably tomorrow. And then Nimbus. And then more of this on Sunday. So if you enjoyed this, come back on Sunday. If you would like me to watch me doing other things, come back on the other days. Stream 3 times a week. Since I know there's a few new people today. 3 times a week. Monday evenings, Tuesday evenings, Sunday evenings. But that is all for now. If you have not already, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, give the channel a cheeky follow. If you've done all that, I'd highly appreciate it. If you could join the Discord, that would be good too. I have a Discord. That is kind of the only social media I use at this point. I really need to get better at the social media nonsense. I do have like a TikTok and all sorts. And then after that, it's I have an audiobook. If you enjoyed listening to me, you can look up My Name is Princess Case. I have read the audiobook from that. I'm currently recording the second one, so that's on the way. I have written books, a superhero series called Moon Girl, that I'm hoping to audiobook them at some point as well. There's my merch store, www.bridesmith.co.uk. I know I sometimes say the Etsy, but I'm actually considering closing the Etsy and then just throwing everything on the merch store. Because it, like... Etsy's supposed to be easier to find stuff for people who want the kind of crochet nonsense that I do, but then I've had no sales, so what's the point? I have another store, I may as well use it. So I might close down the Etsy soon, and then just consolidate things on my own website merch store. Yeah. Also, there's Patreon and YouTube membership where you get to vote on one stream a week for 1 stream a month. That's something I wouldn't normally do, like the Gunpla and the horror. And what did we have? The SCP reading last week as well. That was one of them. I think that's all I need to say. Until tomorrow, my good Brionicles. I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Brandy Rosmith, I'm the Finn Library. Goodbye. Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the screen? There's the screen. Bye.